So the Tom Savini Special Makeup Effects program started in October of 2000. It all started with, there was our Alan Assad. Alan Assad was a full-time instructor for the Art Institute, and he freelanced as consulting. And back in the late 90s, he came to me and we put on a graphic design course. And it was successful, not at the level that the special effects program became, but it was successful at the time, and he was impressed with how fast we moved and what we did. And he was friends with Tom, and he asked me if I wanted to meet Tom. You know, everybody knew who you were, and I wasn't really a horror movie fan and I really didn't know Tom. So we went down to your studio, down there in the Strip.
Oh, that's right,
And introduced me. We stayed there about 20 minutes. You know, I saw all his stuff, and and he said, well, hey, submit me a proposal.
Right, but don't forget now, the people have been coming to my shop, a lawyer, the guy from Art Institute.
Yeah. We did meet at the Baltimore House on a number of occasions.
Me, you, and Pat.
Yeah, and that was where that's where the agreements were signed, and we started, and that was in late '99, early 2000.
You know, I remember going to meetings with the Board of Education in Harrisburg with Pat DeConsilis, bringing my book along, you know, and to show them who the hell I am, for one thing, and to prove that we were serious. You know.
We wanted to do something that nobody else did. And there were competitors out there in competition were really short programs. They said they were in special effects, but they were just scratching the surface. And to have somebody like Tom willing to give up the secrets and give back, and then having a Jerry and the other to complement and do what we're doing. You know, who would have thought 15 years later? We're almost 1,500 students in that program. We've had students from 50 states and international here in Monessen.
I wish there was a place like this when I was young and trying to get into the business. First of all, learning, because you couldn't, nobody shared their secrets except for Dick Smith if you called him on the phone. But the idea of taking Dorian Clevenger's class or aesthetic, man, that would be, I would take all of it, you know. And one of the points is that other schools are like 11 weeks, 4 months. We're not kidding around, we're 16 months.
I knew we were on to something because it felt right. The synergy was there. You know, like I said, all the pieces were lining up. Tom's name was on the program.
Well, the greatest living makeup artist on the planet was part of us, Dick Smith. You know,
for like 4 years.
Yeah, Dick Smith is, you know, really, when he was alive, he was the greatest living makeup artist on the planet.
His endorsement was like, took us to the next level.
Exactly. Just him coming here, that was his endorsement, and people followed up on that, I think. I think that helped us a great deal.
Jerry falling in our lap, that, you know, he's been there from the beginning, all 15 years, the heart and soul of the place. You know, and then, you know, just all the people we've had over the years teaching, and the crew we have now that's been there for, you know, a lot of them for 6, 8, 10 years and longer.
When I first came back to Pittsburgh to take care of my dad, Tom says, oh, I'm starting this school. You got to come out and see the school. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I got a really good job at Optic Nerve Studios. And he's like, no, you got to at least come out and see the place. So I did. I drove all the way out here to Monessen, which I had no idea where it was. It's like an hour out of Pittsburgh. And come to this building. It's an old convent. And I go inside, and it's totally gutted. There's guys in here trying to drill through the 3-foot thick concrete floor to put pipes in so they could put it in a sink. And they're in there swearing, and there's no walls. Everything's just totally ripped apart. And I said, what? When is this going to start? And he said, oh, we're starting in October. I'm going, okay, this is July. I don't think this is going to happen. And I was really skeptical about getting involved in it, but he said, no, it's going to be cool. And so when the school first did open, we had 3 classrooms. We had the room we're in now, which is the sculpture room. We had a makeup room, and then we had another, just open room where the students could do just about anything. And it started out small. It rapidly grew very large.
All right. I was in the first class of the Savini program. When I first got here, it blew me away at the artistry of the teachers, and it was kind of my background is I came from Texas, so there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on in Texas, and I didn't have a lot of knowledge. We didn't have the internet capability we have nowadays, so there wasn't a whole lot of information on how to get into this. So when I finally enrolled here and came here to the school, I was blown away by the instructors I met, and especially Jerry Gurley, the lead instructor here. Big influence on me. Upon graduation, I immediately got all my things packed up from Texas, and me and another buddy who was also a graduate here, we both literally like went straight out to LA, got an apartment, started knocking on doors, showing our portfolios, and then within, I'd say roughly maybe a month's time, we had our first job at KMB Studios. So. I decided to come back here and teach because I had something happen where I came and visited the school. I was saying hi to my friend Jerry, and he asked me to do a little presentation. So I did like an eyes and teeth type of seminar. I guess it went over so well that about a month later I got a call from the owner asking if I'd like to teach. And I thought, here's something different that I haven't tried, and I figured it'd be a good idea. When I see somebody that's completely confused and I'm able to just say a few sentences, and then all of a sudden you can actually see the gears click in their head, and you can just tell, you can see that they finally got what you're trying to get through to them. And I think that for me that's the payoff.
The most fulfilling part of this job is just the students. It takes me back to when I was first starting out and getting into the industry, that feeling of, learning things for the first time and doing things and finding out how to do something and just being creative. And I think being a professional in the industry, you sometimes get detached from that, but working with the students, I'm seeing that all again through their eyes and reliving that. So it's fun for me to teach them what I know and see them learning it for the first time and getting excited and doing really cool things.
The most fulfilling part, I would say, is when graduates contact me and thank me for being hard on them and putting them through all of this stuff. Because I don't think that people, a lot of times when you're here and you're in it, you don't see what the benefits are going to be down the road. But whenever you've got to be in that situation and live it, that's whenever the truth really comes out. So that's what's most fulfilling for me.
The most rewarding thing about being here is being able to take a person that have the light, they have the fire, they have the spark. They don't have the roaring fire that feeds itself yet. You help it grow to the point where it can grow on itself, and then you have it just consumes everything. That's as an artist, that's my best reward, when I can watch my students grow to the point where they're just self-feeding. They don't have, they're not asking me so many questions. And other than that, they just go and do their thing, and then they leave and become part of the industry and give back the gift to the rest of the world. And so that is the most rewarding thing for me.
We unleash this inside people. We unleash this talent. I mean, we're certainly training them when we have the courses, but this is something that existed inside of these people, kids, who are unsure. They'd like to do it, but when they come here, they don't know. Some of them have done stuff before, but most of them have never done anything. They're not sure they can even do it. All of a sudden, a student like Darren Holt comes here. I'm buying things from him in his second semester because he never sculpted before, and he's sculpting brilliant creations, So we unleash that in him, and we unleash it regularly in lots of other students who have never pushed clay around before. Suddenly they've given birth to something that never existed, and that gives them this wonderful feeling of creativity. I mean, there's a magic in that. That's something that we are creating in them as well, that magic of creativity. We're letting them experience something that exists inside them.
Success, brother.
That's right. Another 5 more.
5,
20.
better be 15
Yeah.
or 20.
Okay, yeah, we'll be around for that.
Yeah, absolutely.